Matt, the Fifth Republic is in uncharted territories here. As you said, it looks like National Rally won't be able to achieve that majority. So what might French government look like in the weeks to come? There are some options. President Macron, for example, could sound out other parties about the possibility of a confidence and supply type arrangement. There's even a world in which some sort of technocratic prime minister could be appointed over a national unity government. The problem with that is that National Rally will call foul, of course, is that if that happens, because it would all be designed to block them from power. They will frame it in terms of democracy shortchanged. The one thing we know for certain is that this far-right party, now the biggest party in Parliament here, is continuing to completely redefine French politics. National Rally's breakthrough moment has been decades in the making.
Vous me troublez, Madame Le Pen.
The old fascist party of Jean-Marie Le Pen, reinvented by his daughter. Reinvigorated by her TikTok protégé Jordan Bardella.
Vive la France.
We spent time on the ground with their candidates, trying to understand why the message resonates. If National Rally were in power, would this man have been allowed into France? Ask the question, is this a party born again or just back from the dead? Mr. Bardella, British television here. Who are you really and what do you stand for, sir?
Bonjour madame, vous voulez un petit tract pour les élections? Je suis candidat du Rassemblement National pour dimanche, pour le second tour.
Julien Lémongie is 28, same as Bardella. The similarities don't end there. Immigrant background, polished, definitely on message, possibly in power. The far-right party has gone to its youth wing to field an army of mini Bardellas, part of the criteria, who looks good in their first suit.
En tout cas, vous pouvez compter sur moi.
Merci.
He's standing in a commuter belt constituency in Seine-et-Marne, east of Paris. A couple of big towns, but mainly villages like Roubaix.
I want to fight for France, so that's the idea for me. I want to fight for France, and when you want to fight for France, you want like a better life for people, you want less taxes, you want less immigrations, because nobody voted here, to get like hundreds of thousands of migrants every year.
It's hard to see how a place like this is adversely affected by immigration, because I can't see any immigrants here.
Because it's a Tuesday morning, it doesn't mean you have like immigrations everywhere in the streets.
But
it's not
when
what
do
I
all
say.
the immigrants come out then?
Like, I'm not saying that immigrants are like everywhere in the street. I'm just saying like people are affected by immigration, not only because there's immigration in the village, because they see what it provokes in France, like some insecurity, like some problems in the transport. We just say that the systems like is not working.
The left-wing candidate here tactically withdrew, part of a nationwide plan to block the far right. It means Lémongie is in a two-way fight with the incumbent MP for Les Républicains. Think Conservatives.
Bonjour madame. Ah, vous êtes partout?
Ben oui.
Bonjour, vous allez bien?
Is this the opposition?
Yes.
Oui, tout à fait.
Okay. The traditional right in France is in free fall, and there's another factor. People think they've tried everything else, so why not National Rally?
Après, voilà. Les gens se disent, on n'a jamais essayé les RN, donc pourquoi pas? Donc on va essayer.
If you're an educated, ambitious would-be politician, National Rally's dominance now also means opportunity. 20 years ago,
Oui.
if you had been running here, would you have been running for Le Républicain?
Maybe 20 years ago it would have been different, because I agree with Madame that National Rally was very different, but now it changed.
If you're a young, politically ambitious person, is National Rally the party that you would gravitate towards now? Do you know what I mean?
I guess so, but I commit in politics not because I'm just ambitious, because I want to fight for France.
We move on to the next village, and as we do, news breaks that a National Rally candidate in Normandy has stood down after a picture emerged of her wearing Nazi memorabilia.
Calvados, Ludivine Daoudi retire sa candidature après la publication d'une photo d'elle avec une casquette nazie.
Have you seen this, wearing a Luftwaffe hat?
Yeah, I saw that. We cannot accept that. It's a shame. And I heard that she was dismissed.
Why do you think she did that?
I don't know. I don't have any context of this thing. I just show the pictures. But
if you're a young person like you and you know there's that history, why do you still decide to join?
I think young people are smart enough when they get a membership. They meeting the others. They meeting like the political leaders. It's not what they see. I think nobody has to be worried about it. It doesn't reflect what we are, you know.
Immigration is at the heart of the National Rally proposition, of course. For Julien, globalisation has eroded a vision of what it means to be French. Says his party wants to restore a sense of unified national community.
We are like an individual society. People don't trust anymore in the politics, so they don't live together anymore. So we have to create togetherness.
But who gets to be part of that community?
Bonjour, madame.
At our next stop, the diverse town of Nangy, that's the question that comes into sharp focus.
Moi, je suis de l'Algérie.
Algérien.
Okay.
Mais en fait, ceux qui sont déjà sur place, qui sont en situation régulière, qui travaillent, qui, voilà, qui payent leurs impôts, ils n'ont rien à craindre normalement.
Bien sûr, on n'a jamais dit qu'on allait virer les personnes qui étaient sur le terrain.
cette fois.
But hang on, I know we're all being friends here and everything, and you're being the politician, so I get it. But if National Rally were in power, would this man have been allowed into France?
So this man is working in France, so he's on the territory, he's legally on the territory, so there is no problem, you know. We are against people arriving illegally on the territory, not working, so we think...
So just to be clear, Julien, you want this man to stay in France? Yeah? You want this man to stay in France, yeah?
Il me demande si je veux que vous restiez en France, et je lui réponds oui. Vous travaillez, vous êtes sur le territoire.
Yeah, you do, yeah?
Yeah, I do.
Much of the party's past rhetoric, though, doesn't square with this. And that mismatch has people in this town confused about exactly what National Rally in power would actually mean for them. The fear, as the sign reads, one train coming might hide another.
Paul O'Brien outside Paris. And if you need it, you can access a dubbed version of that report on our website shortly. Well, earlier I spoke to Danielle Obono, who's a Gabonese-French politician from the far-left France Unbowed party. I began by asking if she was surprised about the positive reaction to this young National Rally candidate that we just saw.
Well, I think overall the reaction I sensed and I knew from people around me was that people were stunned and afraid when we learned about how big their votes were nationally. But at the same time, I know that there's a lot of anger in this country against Macron, against his politics. And I think some of the people used this vote to say that.
But why would young voters, French voters of African or North African origin, even contemplate voting for the Rassemblement National, for the RN?
I would say it's not the majority of the voters.
Sure.
And some may actually believe in what they are supposedly standing for when they pretend to stand with the poor people, to stand with the workers. And I think we had for years now, decades, they've been building their little family business, as I call it, and their discourse has been normalized, and that's, I think, part of their appeal now, because people think, oh, it's okay, whatever they say about migrants, everybody's saying that, but there are still roots, historical roots, and also ideological roots with the party founded by Jean-Marie Le Pen. The ugly truth is that they're still a far-right and, at their core, racist party.
But if they get into power, if they manage to form even a minority government next week, what's the reaction going to be from your party and the reaction of people on the streets of France?
Well, for now, we don't believe that's going to happen because we are very focused on fighting against the far right and making sure that our candidates, we have over 300 candidates on the ballot, get elected. What we want to do is defeat the fascists.
I mean, are they really fascists? You know, the Rassemblement National? They may be far right, but are they fascists?
I do think that's their historical.
But are they fascists today?
political-
You know, Jean-Marie Le Pen, you know, started
Yes,
the party.
I do think.
You know,
I
with the
I
former
think if you
Nazi
look-
Waffen-SS officer. But the party's moved on since then, hasn't it? That's what they would say, and that's what many voters believe.
Yeah, I think when you look at what they've been, I mean, I've been elected in 2017 and 2022, and I've seen what they've been pushing at the National Assembly. They've been pushing the most neoliberal, antisocial policies, targeting Muslim people, targeting migrant people. Their policies and what they stand for is part of this far-right history and ideological framework that can be called fascist or neo-fascist, if you want to call it like. They rebranded themselves.
But for every voter who wants to be anti-fascist, as you call it, there's another voter who's determined to be anti-communist, and by that he means your party.
I know a lot of people have this idea of what we are because they've heard in the media that we will break the economy and we will put the world upside down. What we're saying that, first of all, the situation, the economic situation and the social situation we are in is the result of 7 years of neoliberal policy. The chaos is already there, the crisis is already there, and it's due to the neoliberal policies that have been implemented.
Daniel Ogbonna, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.